In today's video, I am going to cover the steps you would go through if you have a vehicle with disc brakes, which most vehicles do have, and you discover that one of those brakes is not operating correctly. I was working on the vehicle behind us, getting it ready for a vehicle inspection, which you have to do every 2 years in Canada, and I discovered that one of my disc brakes was not working. So the process I went through was to find out whether it was a defective caliper, whether the slide pins on the caliper were seized, or if it was something beyond the caliper itself. In other words, if the caliper and the slide pins were operating correctly, but it was a problem prior to reaching the caliper in the hydraulic brake system, like a collapsed brake hose or a brake line or something like that. Anyways, we're going to go through the steps that I went through as I did the troubleshooting. I have the rear of the vehicle jacked up off of the ground. Both wheels I could spin. And now I'm going to go show you a highly technical device I have put to operate the brakes. Here is my high-tech brake operation device. There's the brake pedal. Here's the handle of my broken shovel. This has power seat, so I just moved the seat back, put the shovel in place, and then moved the power seat button up ahead until it put pressure on the brake pedal. As you can see here, you know the brakes have been operated because our brake lights are on. Now, these are the rear wheels. As we just showed, the brakes are operated. I should not be able to spin these, and I sure shouldn't be able to spin them this easily. Now, let's go over to the other rear tire here. Rear wheel, I should say. Now this one, if I come onto this, I can't even budge that as it should be. Just going to remove our high-tech braking apparatus. Let's just do it this way. There. Now, go around. Well, we know this one's going to spin because it's spun before. And we'll go over to the one on the passenger side, which, as we know, we couldn't spin before. And there that goes. If you suspect that one of your brakes isn't operating, a really quick way to troubleshoot is if you have rims like this, you can look through and see the rotor. And what you should see, if you're using the vehicle regularly, is that this portion here should be very shiny and silvery. Now, unfortunately, I'd go over and show you the other wheel, the one that's operating, and we should be able to see that silver, because what happens is this is the caliper here, and when that forces the pad in against the rotor, it will wear off the steel and it'll be all silvery. Unfortunately, if I go over to the other side, I can't illustrate that here because I haven't used this van in months, which is why I'm doing this work now. So that side isn't silvery either. But that is a quick way to check if you suspect that one of your brakes is not operating, and if you have rims like this that you can see through to the rotor there. With the wheel off, I shook the rotor like this. It's spinning. The brakes are not operated now. And by shaking the rotor, I've loosened up, I don't know if you can see that, but the pad is free to move in here. So now what I want to do, I'm going to operate the brake again, and I'm going to see if that pad seems to move at all any closer to that rotor. I want to see if there's any sign of life in this caliper at all. So just one moment, I'm going to operate that brake. Okay, the brake is on. Oh shoot, dropped my light. Rotor's still spinning. Yeah, now that I can see movement between the rotor and the pad there. I was hoping to see a little something, because if it wasn't, if there was any sign of operation in there, it would mean that possibly just the caliper slide pins are defective. Hopefully not the whole caliper. Let's just go over to the other side just for a sec. See, show you what I mean. There's our brake lights on. Now, we know that here on the passenger side, the brakes operate. Can't move it at all as before. And if we look down here, we can see that the pad is firmly against that rotor, which is why the rotor won't spin. On the other side, we can see that it was not actually compressed against the rotor as it should be with the brakes on. What I've done here is I've taken a C-clamp. I've got it on our outside brake pad here, and I've retracted the pads into the caliper. I've got lots of videos on replacing brake pads and working on calipers and that type of thing, so I'm not going to go into that too much. I'll put some links down below this video. But I do have to mention, if you're doing this, be careful. We're working on rear brakes, so there's an emergency brake cable right there. You don't want to have your C-clamp on anything like that, or the brake bleeder screw or anything like that. That's why I have this piece of wood in here, and that goes right to the hard steel of the mounting bracket. Anyway, if you can see this, hopefully you can, there's lots of pad on this outside brake pad. The inside one, there's hardly any left. I'm going to retract this, or take the C-clamp off and show you what I mean. So this, I think, is starting to look like either a seized caliper slider pin, and this caliper is stuck wearing that inside pad. Here's the slide pins. You can tell because I got the rubber boot on them here. And that's the bolt that I'm going to release. Lefty-loosey, counterclockwise. I'll take that one off and the one down below, and we'll see how our slide pins look and see if they are seized and not moving properly. In this case, our slide pin is 1/2 inch. Take our socket, make sure it's set for lefty-loosey, counterclockwise as it is. Oh, you've got to be extra careful doing that when you're working on something like this, where you're looking at the socket from behind. Very easy to get mixed up. These shouldn't be too tight, theoretically. We're about to find out. Nope, not tight at all, actually. Okay, I'll take that one off, and the bottom one. Once we remove these two pins, this part here will just come right off of the caliper, and we'll have access to our brake pads. Let's set that aside. Here's our rubber boot we were talking about. Bottom one, I'm not going to be able to record that. Same deal. Okay, I took the bottom pin off, which was down there, and now this whole assembly should pull right out like that. Ooh, that doesn't look good. Here's our piston there. This caliper, it's not looking too promising. Anyway, we'll find out. The caliper itself might be bad. I'm gonna guess it probably is by the looks of that. Okay,
I should tie wrap that aside, but I don't have any handy right now. So I'm going to clean up these boots here. First, let's just get one of these pins out so I can show you what the slide pin looks like. So I'm going to hold the boot. I don't want to rip it. Hold the boot in, pulling it towards me, and pull that slide pin out. And there is our top caliper slide pin. And pull the boot in on the bottom. Turn the slide pin just to make sure it's not seized in there. And there's the bottom one. The pads we'll just pull out now. That's the outside one, obviously. And the inside one, which is substantially more worn, not quite as bad as I thought, but anyway, now because I'm gonna change these rotors, you can see why. Look how nasty they look. I'm gonna take the mounting bracket off, caliper mounting bracket here off here. So this is definitely looking like a bad brake caliper itself. We can see here those slide pins moving in and out nice and freely there. Same here. They're going right, you want to see it go right in like that, compress the boot. Sometimes if they stick, they'll be out like that. They'll only go a certain point, but these ones are going right in. A little air in that boot there. It's probably going to be the end of this video because I replaced the other caliper about 2 years ago on this vehicle, and I went through the whole procedure, but hopefully you might have got a couple little hints off of that. I will mention there's a tool that I have to use to retract this. The C-clamp got me a little bit of movement, enough to get it out and away from the pads, but realistically I wasn't really thinking. Rear brakes this style, I could have just taken the whole thing off, not bothered with the C-clamp thing, because I have to take the little tool, which I will put a link to the bottom of this video in, and we're going to have to spin this piston in to retract it. There's one other little test we could do, which I wanted to show you. Unfortunately, this bleeder screw is seized in here, and I'm going to get a new caliper, and I'm taking this one to replace it. But what we would do as a test, you take a bottle like this. I show this process in a video I've got called How to Bleed Brakes by Yourself. It's basically the same thing. You take the hose, put it over the bleeder screw, and sometimes you got to be a little aggressive with it. Maybe even a little bigger hose would be better for this particular bleeder screw. But anyway, you put it over. Our problem was a defective brake caliper, and I've replaced it. But I want you to use your imagination for a second and pretend this is still the dirty old caliper that we were working on before. And I just want to illustrate the process that we would go through just to make sure that the brake fluid actually is getting to the caliper. So right now, the brakes are not, they're not operated. See, I'm turning that. But I'm gonna go activate the brakes. And once I put pressure on the system, this is when this little test I was talking about with the hose going into the bottle with the brake fluid would tell us and verify that the brake fluid is getting to the caliper. So I'm going to go operate the brakes. So, okay, I have our stick holding the brakes down. If I try to turn this rotor now, it will not, because the brakes are operated. But if we were still troubleshooting our old dirty caliper, as I call it, we got a 10mm wrench on this brake fitting here. Now when I crack this, There's a little bit of brake fluid left there in that line from when I was bleeding the brakes, putting this new caliper on. But let's pretend that's not there. And when I crack this bleeder valve, you should see brake fluid coming up like that because the pressure, oh, I went the wrong way out. So that's what I was talking about. If you don't see brake fluid come out like that, then you've got something beyond the caliper, a problem like a collapsed brake flex hose or something like that. Anyways, hope that helped. Thanks for watching.